Alright, welcome everyone, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Part 6, Episode 26. Donald
Pucci.
Duck and well, not Donald Duck yet,
yes,
but Batman
yes.
and all the characters from everywhere are just, disappearing and appearing.
Yeah. I love the idea that Araki is taking just his whole concept of stands and pushing it to the absolute breaking point of our immersion, to where we're like, wait a minute, is this the real world? What even is off the table or on the table right now?
Yeah, like what happens if all of a sudden, it just cuts to live action Araki, and then Jotaro is just like standing behind him, just like, hey,
Even
you really changed how
popular
you draw me.
characters from Shonen Jump. And
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
right.
What even is left? What even is left at this point?
And is this, like, how many different stand powers are at play here, right? Because there's whatever's happening with Pucci, there's the drug addict, and potentially then he's the one doing the splitting, or maybe not, and then there's the whole characters thing. Are they connected? How much are they connected? What's going on? How long is this going to last?
And then there's the idea also just that Pucci in and of himself doesn't really understand exactly what's going on with his stand or with his ability in general. Like it's wild. So Araki, this is good. Let's keep cranking the dial.
Weirder and weirder. Let's go.
Weirder and weirder. But yeah, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
Our enemy is Zawardo.
Yep. You're keeping up with them. That's good, honestly.
Yes! Right, they can't show Batman, right?
No, but that's the thing, though. If a kid sees Batman, then are they in the fantasy world as well?
Maybe this is just the real world. Like...
What?
So what did the other Anasui do?
Oh!
Brilliant. Right, exactly.
616, is that an Earth 616 reference? From DC? Are we getting parallel universes?
There's no way Florida police respond that quickly. Well, different face. All right. Yeah.
Shit.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Right, yeah.
Nice.
Yes. Oh my God.
Wait.
We're getting Fist of the North Star in here?
The original works of
Yeah.
Yeah.
JoJo's line.
JoJo's line's exactly what I was thinking. That's how the story goes. What?
Oh no.
Oh! Holy shit.
Okay.
Wait. Is that supposed to be like Paul Bunyan or something? Van Gogh? Oh.
Oh shit.
Whoa, this is so cool. So it's not just fictional characters, it's characters from like a story, like history.
Right. Any kind of like... No. We don't need to see this, Araki. We do not need to see this.
Oh my god.
Use Diver Down to rip him out.
This is a nightmare!
Why?
Right, started there. Okay. Artwork?
Right. Cool.
Zero. Whoa. Oh, 40.
Okay.
Damn. Oh!
Oh. Okay. All right. I like it.
What? What?
That's so cool.
That
but
is
no.
nightmare! Oh my god.
What in the fuck is this?
This is the whole, a snail is coming after you.
Yeah, no,
you know?
exactly, yeah.
Wait. What, the
Yeah.
bear or lion head on them? What?
Yeah, that's how the story goes. Wow. Okay, yeah, so it is the drug addict. Joseph Joestar would like to have a word with you.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
He's actually just talking about the song now.
Yes.
He's listening to it on the headphones.
Oh, so they have to survive the story before it ends, basically.
Right. Get around the corner.
Oh!
Oh,
Oh, how
fuck.
convenient!
Okay. Oh, no.
No way.
Oh, no.
Ah,
No,
Rocky,
no.
why you gotta do that?
No.
What? Put back, put back? Oh! Oh! Yes! Yes!
All right.
Holy shit!
Oh my god. I
Using the
fucking
laws of
love
the
it.
ability. This is
Yeah.
some. This is so good.
Yeah, you don't want her to get 3 wishes from the genie.
Oh, what's going on? Oh shit! And just like that, it's over.
Yeah.
Oh!
Oh shit!
Oh shit! Yeah! Payback's a bitch!
Yeah.
Hermes is using the shower. Ah, yes. I need your help.
You need to get there fast. Gone.
Gone, man. Solid. Gone. Immediately calls the police.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jillian's like, no. Yeah. Alright. Mm-hmm. Damn.
Beautiful.
This is gonna... Oh! Oh!
He's gonna send them...
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Okay. You are repentant. Okay. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, they were gonna destroy him. Imagine if that came, he would have exploded in his mouth. Oh my god.
So then they just carefully put the tongue somewhere. He gave them a helicopter?
Yes.
What?
Yes. All right. Ah! Ah! Oh shit! Oh shit! Ah! He still put me in prison for all that time.
Right.
Oh, let's go!
You did good, and now we're even. Oh. Oh, okay. That's... What? What?
Pucci's just like, this is what I have to fucking deal with.
This is your big request of me?
All right, sometimes y'all, this anime earns the bizarre part of it. Just
sometimes.
Just a bit. Because this sequence of events that led to fictional characters, by the way, leaping off of their respected drawn pages, art collections and what have you, and going about the world, playing out their stories in the way that they would be, in the location that maybe they would be, except randomly Van Gogh shows up in Florida, because why not? But the idea that this originated in Florida because Pucci interacted with the drug addict, so it's confirmed that it was the drug addict's stand. We never actually saw... This is something that's really cool. We never saw a person manifested as the stand. We never saw an actual
We saw the
form.
effect of the stand, but we never saw the stand itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
So this is Pucci's new evolved ability. He is accelerating the process of people getting their stand or something like that. He's accelerating human evolution in some way.
And maybe one of the side effects is that people sometimes get stands. Cool.
Right.
Or maybe they were people that had latent stand abilities but never developed them. Stand users are attracted to each other, and then suddenly
the spark is basically that, because he does have the Joestar. He does have the Joestar. But Pucci does.
Right.
You see that?
Yes.
So what's happening here is something really crazy, but to me, it feels like what we're getting is the kind of thing that's added on to the explanation of part 3, which is the reason why all the Joe Bros in part 3 got their stands was because of the awakening of a stand in Dio, which, because it being in Jonathan's body, connected out to all of the Joestars.
Right.
But in this case here, Pucci, who has his his Dio connection, and also just his unique, maybe even spiritual connection to God or something else. There is something that's happening in him that is like a divine plan, something grander.
At the very least, it's new.
It
might be connected to things that have previously happened, but it might be also recontextualizing exactly what those things were.
Right.
The fact that it's the Joestar family and they have a star, and and then hey, they end up getting stands. It could be because of that. maybe the star, who knows, could end up being something that isn't actually connected to the Joestar bloodline, but it's actually some other thing connected to the idea of stands that, you know, even back when Jonathan was around was, you know, it existed, but they just didn't have access to the power or something.
Right.
You know?
Human beings are really quick to come up with answers just to stop asking questions. So there's times when we see something and we go, oh, well, A plus B equals C.
Yeah.
So, you know, there we go. So C,
right.
you know, there we go. That's what it is. And it's it led to that in this instance.
But what if that's
in
not
a broader
actually how it
context?
works?
Yeah, it actually has other applications. There's a lot of really cool things going on with Pucci being, in some ways, on his own kind of. This is very part 4, but his own kind of Yoshikage Kira like plot that's just going on in the background while all the protagonists are rushing to try and chase him and stop him.
Right.
And on the way, he's just making followers. It feels very much like they're going for the, yes, he is the
cult leader, you know? Or...
Well, no, he is the incarnation of something divine coming about and making disciples. You know, he's on his own kind of pilgrimage towards godhood or something.
Sure.
And we're seeing the birth of a new being or something like that. You know,
and not just the new being in that. Yeah, Pucci is obviously like evolving and changing and all that stuff, but this is affecting the world. Right. Like the way that this stand encounter went down, I feel like is important for JoJo's as a story, right? Because like we've had weird stands.
Oingo Boingo.
Oingo Boingo.
This is very Oingo Boingo.
Lock, you know, right? Like we've had all kinds of things where it's like, okay, how does this exactly work? What are the ramifications of it? And it can get into some weird territory. Okay, cool. But we've never had something quite like this where it is. We've had some times where the stand is kind of just doing things willy-nilly out of control of the user, but not on this scale or scope. And the fact that just because of one stand user, the entire world started to be rewritten, and other people were aware of it. It wasn't like because one of the things that I was thinking could be like a not a justification, but like a narrative mechanical loophole is that you're not actually in the real world. You got transported into like an alternate world where then it's the stand's domain. It has power over everything, all that stuff, right?
I honestly think that is one of the maybe subtle explanations that they might be hinting at. But the reason I have for thinking that is a very, very loose thing, because they had 616 on the cafe, which is Prime Earth, I believe, in the DC universe.
Oh, really?
And because they mentioned Batman, I was like,
okay.
Of all the numbers that they showed, and given that storybooks were a whole portion of this and comics are part of that as well, by extension, I saw 616 on the cafe. I can bring it up here when they were at the entrance with the police here. That makes me think that it could be a parallel universe answer here. So yeah, 616 right here.
Okay.
Which is like that's a popular number specifically for the idea of parallel Earths.
Okay.
In that. So that could be a part of it. It could also be a thing of where we've already entered like heaven, if that makes sense. And it's the idea that Pucci is basically bringing bringing something to all of humanity, and he's just waxing in his own power.
Yeah.
And thus it's not this guy was in a fantasy world. It's more that, or they were made into a fantasy world. It's just, no, his desires became reality. And in a chaotic, wild sense, they just went out in a big pulse around the planet. Yeah.
But that's something that we have never seen before.
Never.
And while it's possible that this is because this stand came about as a result of Pucci, but this was not Pucci's stand.
No.
If it was Pucci's stand, it would be easier for me to believe that once Pucci is defeated, everything will completely go back to normal. And theoretically, it still could. It still could. But it is possible for Pucci to have potentially influenced people, like the lady that had the eggs, and all that stuff, right? and for him to not necessarily realize that these people are stand users or whatever.
Sure.
And then, you know, in the next, like, you know, part 7 or something,
sure,
suddenly there's all these stand users going around that have the ability to have powers that affect the entire world. Right. In reality.
Right.
And that would be ridiculous. That would fundamentally change.
Well, I think that's what the other two.
The story
that's
goes.
what the other two people are. They're gonna be something on that level. But of course, they don't know what they're doing, so they won't necessarily be a immediate, you know, problem in a lethal sense. Like, they'll obviously be doing crazy shit, but I think we're gonna get more stands like what this guy had with Bohemian Rhapsody, and it's going to be more wild chaos than actually like focused specific, you know, goals and motivations. Like, what am I doing?
Well, and even
it's just basically saying that if Pucci is doing that and he's becoming more and more aware of maybe what he's doing and how he's doing it, I want to see him like talk or think about what he's actually doing, because I don't think this is the part that I'm kind of weird on here, is that he's going to Cape Canaveral for his, you know,
whatever the ritual
his
thing
meeting
is,
with God, basically. Like as far as I'm concerned, Pucci is going to have a divine something or other at Cape Canaveral, but that is a point in the future. That is then.
Right.
He has some time shenanigan things that are going on right now.
Yep.
But also just the idea that his stand could manipulate the discs and stuff. This feels like the I don't know, the like he's having a requiem stand, basically, kind of equivalent.
It's a lot more connected to what Whitesnake was originally than, say, bites the dust for Kira.
Yes. Like, it's very, very much like a consistent next step up, potentially, by JoJo logic.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And this stand user, the like Bohemian Rhapsody, all that stuff, they got lucky with how this resolved. Right. Because once you break the fundamental mechanics of stands that we've had until now, that, like, you know, it's weaker the more range that it has, you know, that whole thing. Yeah, he just gets on a plane and flies away. If not for the fact that he was listening to the news, if not for the fact that he was so mentally unstable that he so desperately needed this that once he realized that it got defeated, he went into a catatonic state. If not for that.
Yeah. Right. In some ways, the power of his stand being so manic and chaotic was because of his fractured mental state.
Sure.
To the point where then, when it was stopped, it's I thought I was given purpose. I thought I was given basically everything I ever wanted. Which, I think thematically it could be setting up something specific.
Okay.
What if what Pucci is doing is something that is ultimately not for his benefit? Meaning what he's doing here is something that is part of a divine plan, is some kind of thing where we're moving towards that next stage of humanity, and Pucci is merely a vessel. So if he's the religious guy, where he will actually have to come to terms with his faith and his belief, and
God is dead or something like that.
Or not just that, if God is actually a thing,
sure,
will he basically then be like, well done, and now you're no longer your purpose has been served? Will Pucci then despair, or will he be like, thank you, God, and then just let himself be taken up in the
given that he is like a priest, right? So like, you know, allegedly, right? He is a fan of God in the traditional sense.
right.
But at the same time, when you think about the person he's actually worshiping, he's worshiping Dio, and Dio means God, right? So there's that part of me that's like, okay, wait, what's gonna happen there? Like when he's talking about heaven, if it's something that's like Dio's machinations, will he just be like, oh no, I was actually interested in like heaven, like where are the cherubs and shit, versus like if he's like, no, he gets like heaven, and then he's like, no, where the fuck's Dio? Like what's going to happen there? Because I feel
the more time we get in his head, the better, because there's a lot of things that could be a lot of things that he could be focusing on, and yet he seems more swept up in the idea of this purpose, which makes me think, given how this happened with the Bohemian Rhapsody guy, we could see an undoing of Pucci in the similar way, or we could see the exact opposite in the, I was able to have a purpose in this world. And then it's the way in which the villain is, like, defeated not by, like, the protagonist necessarily, but by surrendering to the, yes, I do not need to have ego or id or desire.
That's how the story goes.
He attains nirvana, you know, and it's just the sweet bliss of moving in the path of God. And
well, if you think about it, like, now, not that it has to be connected to the Bohemian Rhapsody, like, resolution specifically, but that would be the accepting the end of the story.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
In this guy's case, he was struggling with the fact that
he had no story.
That he felt like he had no story, and that the story that had been dealt to him, told to him, was not a good one.
Right.
Right?
So he leapt into the fantasy.
Yeah. Funnily enough, though, the way that the Joe Bros were able to actually beat him was to say, let's make a new story.
Yeah.
Right? Which maybe would have been, if he had been able to have that realization, would have been the thing that
he could have been a god, basically.
Well, might have been a god, or at the very least, maybe gotten his life back.
Right.
You know?
He could have written himself into a story, a future where he didn't need to basically cause chaos or anything like that.
The idea that when his stand was defeated, your stand's not actually defeated. They got rid of the things once, but who's to say you couldn't do that again? Like mechanically, there's not necessarily anything set up where he is absolutely defeated in a power standpoint here.
No, nothing
but
at
he
all,
was defeated in the mind, and so it's over. Right? They didn't need to come up and knock him out or anything in order to make his stand stop doing its thing.
Yeah.
That was it.
That was it. Which, that's kind of why I think there could be something tied to that with Pucci. But also, this is JoJo's. We need to have a punch out.
Definitely.
Or a kind of style. So
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it'll be a Kenshiro.
Just the idea that Kenshiro fought like whoever his villain was at that,
and just wiped out like West
Shinjuku, poor Tokyo.
Whole area of Tokyo. It's like, how many people died there? Oh, a lot. But at least it's over now.
For now, yeah.
Like if you want to think about like ramifications for the world, there's already one right there. Right. Like a national disaster.
People will remember this forever.
Yeah.
Like,
not just in Japan, around the world. Right. Like that's you don't just wipe this away. You don't undo that. Right. I mean, it's JoJo's. Maybe you do undo it.
Well,
somehow,
that actually might just be the way in which things get even more bonkers. Is that it's not about things going outside of the bounds of this earth necessarily. It's just the idea that all these things logic stack onto each other, and then it's so there are now very strong regulations with regards to printed media and the types of characters that you can create, because there's always the possibility that the violent ones come out and then wipe out half the planet,
right?
So make sure that you have a power limiter set on all fantasy characters that are created.
No, just suddenly Sergeant Gross shows up from Attack on Titan. He's like, what are you talking about? People enjoy watching others suffer.
Love this.
You love this.
Meta commentary on the meta being broken by
the character that comes out of the story. No, go back.
Araki's like, I am taking the genie out of the bottle and giving it wings.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
not
give a
going
fuck.
Back ever. Yeah, I don't know. Like this entire part. The more that went into the Pucci stuff and like him trying to plan this whole thing and him having a connection to Dio and everything, there was this sense that I got that like, is this set up for like part 7? Like, is Araki gonna like turn the tables again? If this is the way that he's turning the tables, what the fuck? Like, what do you even do?
I think in some ways that's just what he wants to do every single part now. Is just part 4, part 5, and part 6 thus far have all had a flip the tables moment. Part 4's was the idea that the arrow and the combination of basically manipulating your stand could lead to someone gaining the abilities of kind of like a god just within that. And then part 5 was where that
Requiem and
basically,
all that.
spills out to, a couple other people kind of as well. And then part 6 is basically the, yeah, the world is gonna change because potentially someone with another form of something not exactly that, but kind of similar to that, with maybe some kind of evolved stand, could then lead to their own attaining of the spiritual blending, the wish of a glorious, world reality or something like that could bring about some kind of it's wild. It's wild.
To think that in part 2 all we had to deal with was like, oh, some guy became an armadillo and a bunch of other animals. Like that's
he was a super vampire.
He was a super vampire.
Right.
That's all we had to worry about.
And then, of course, German, science and technology.
No, that was helping.
Yeah. Well, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access. You can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yes, if any that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.